Some truths lose their power the moment you speak them aloud, not because they change, but because not everyone deserves to hear them. In this world, your dreams can easily become someone else's target. We live in a world where people smile at you with admiration while secretly measuring your weaknesses. A world where your dreams become someone's aim, where your pain becomes a bargaining chip, and your vulnerability, if handed to the wrong person, becomes a weapon they'll use against you. The moment you fall out of favor. So you want to live strong? You want to walk through life untouched by betrayal and chaos? Then learn this lesson early. Silence is power. There are things you must carry alone, not out of fear, not because you don't trust people, but because of discipline. You don't give away the blueprint to a fortress you're still building. You don't open your soul to the world unless someone has earned the key. And truth is, most people never will. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." But what about the things you speak? What about the words you hand to people who aren't built to hold them? Every time you speak carelessly about your inner world, you dilute something sacred. And in the Stoic way of life, nothing is more sacred than your inner world. So let me be clear, there are 5 truths you should never share. Not with friends, not with strangers, sometimes not even with family. Because the stronger you grow, the quieter you must become. The first, your deepest pain, people say, talk about it. Yes, healing requires expression, but there is a difference between release and exposure. The kind of pain that shaped you, that broke you open, that burned away your innocence, it's not something for casual conversations. Not everyone deserves to witness your rebirth. Some will only see your scars and assume you're weak. They won't see the fire you walked through, only the limp it left behind. Tell someone what broke you, and they may cradle it like fragile glass, or throw it against the wall when you least expect it. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." In the same way, don't explain your pain, transform it. Let your actions show what you've survived. Let your silence scream your strength. If someone truly knows you, they'll feel the weight in your voice. You won't need to spell it out. The second truth you should never share, the full extent of your goals. Because this world is full of energy thieves. People who smile at you while secretly hoping you'll fail. Not because they hate you, but because they're too weak to watch someone else rise. We saw how keeping your goals to yourself protects them from unnecessary noise. But that same principle applies to many other areas of your life. You speak your vision aloud just once, and suddenly it's being judged, doubted, questioned, before it's even had a chance to grow. Seneca once warned, "A wise man is never too quick to speak, nor too slow to act." Your goals are seeds. Plant them deep, water them in silence, nurture them with discipline. Speak only when the roots are strong enough to withstand the wind of other people's opinions. Because when you speak too soon, you give the world permission to attack something that hasn't even begun. Let them see results, not plans. Let them ask, "How did you do it?" instead of, "Do you really think you can?" The third truth you should never share, the full extent of your income, your wealth, or financial decisions. Want to know how people really feel about you? Watch them after you succeed. Notice the awkwardness behind their congratulations, the celebration that slowly fades into silence. Money doesn't change people, it reveals them. The moment you share how much you make, what you own, or how well you're doing to things can happen, you become a target, or you become a benchmark. In either case you lose, because now you're not seen as a person, you're seen as a status. You've traded your privacy for validation. And for what? True wealth is quiet. It grows in the shadows. Stoicism teaches, don't boast about fortune because fortune is temporary. What you earn, save, and invest. That belongs to you. Not the timeline, not the gossip, not the dinner table. Let them think you're average. Let them underestimate you. It's the most powerful place you can operate from. The fourth truth you should never share, your acts of kindness or charity. Do good but don't broadcast it. Help someone but don't narrate it. Give but don't demand applause. Because the moment you speak of your generosity, it becomes currency for approval. rather than a reflection of virtue. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you do good to others, don't remind them of it." Why? Because virtue is its own reward. If you need the world to know you're kind, then perhaps you're not doing it for kindness. You're doing it to be seen. There's something deeply powerful about being the one who helps quietly, who gives without needing credit, who uplifts others and walks away unnoticed. That's real power. That's real humility. And that kind of power doesn't fade when the spotlight turns off. And the fifth truth, perhaps the hardest one: never fully share your next move. Not because you're hiding, but because you're protecting the sacred space where we talked about guarding your next move, not to hide, but to protect the sacred space where your intentions are still taking shape. Now, we go one step deeper, understanding the quiet power that comes from restraint. Momentum is fragile. It lives and breathes in silence. But the moment you speak about what's next, you awaken to dangers, external noise and internal pressure. Suddenly, you're not just moving, you're performing. You feel the weight of needing to prove something to people who don't even matter. And worse, you feel watched. Your clarity fades. Your peace gets disrupted. So, keep your momentum to yourself. Let your progress speak through results, not through premature promises. Let your silence create tension. Let your absence spark curiosity. Because when people can't predict you, they can't prepare for you. And that unpredictability powered by purpose is real power. Now, you might ask, does this mean we isolate ourselves? Never open up? Never trust anyone? No. It means you become selective, intentional, disciplined. Stoicism doesn't ask you to be cold. It asks you to be clear. Clear about what you're building. Clear about what truly matters. Clear about which parts of you deserve protection from the world's projections and noise. Your silence is not emptiness, it's protection. Your restraint is not fear, it's wisdom. There is nothing admirable about oversharing, nothing noble in emotional exposure, without boundaries, and no real freedom in always needing to be understood. True freedom is walking through the world with a calm mind, a private plan, and unshakable peace, knowing not everyone deserves access to your truth. So, keep your pain sacred. Your goals private, your wealth quiet, your kindness anonymous, and your next move in the shadows. Speak less, move more, think deeply, walk in silence, like someone who already knows how this ends.